Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we re-diving into the story of one of the most infamous women in the Bible, Queen Jezebel. Her name has become synonymous with wickedness, but who was she really and what makes her story so compelling? Let's find out. Jezebel wasn't originally from Israel. She was a Phoenician princess, the daughter of the king of Tyre, and she was married to King Ahab of Israel as part of a political alliance. Now, this was a huge deal because Jezebel was a devout worshiper of the pagan god Baal. When she arrived in Israel, she didn't just keep her faith to herself. She actively promoted it, building temples to Baal and Asherah, and even supporting hundreds of their prophets with royal funds. This put her in direct conflict with the prophet Elijah, a staunch defender of the worship of Yahweh, the God of Israel. Their rivalry came to a dramatic head on Mount Carmel. You might know this story. Elijah challenged 450 prophets of Baal to a divine showdown. He basically said, "Let's see whose God can send down fire from heaven to consume a sacrifice." The prophets of Baal prayed, chanted, and even hurt themselves for hours, but nothing happened. Then Elijah prayed a simple, powerful prayer to Yahweh, and instantly fire fell from the sky, consuming not just the sacrifice, but the wood, the stones, and even the water in the trench around the altar. It was a stunning display of God's power. After this, the people turned against the false prophets, and Jezebel was furious. She swore an oath to kill Elijah, forcing him to flee for his life. But Jezebel's wickedness didn't stop there. One of the most telling stories about her character involves a man named Naboth. Naboth owned a vineyard right next to King Ahab's palace. Ahab wanted that vineyard and offered to buy it or trade it for a better one. But Naboth refused, explaining that the land was his family's inheritance and according to Israelite law, he couldn't sell it. King Ahab went home sulking like a child, refusing to eat. When Jezebel saw her husband so upset, she took matters into her own hands. She scoffed at his weakness and told him she would get him the vineyard. She then wrote letters in Ahab's name, sealed them with his royal seal, and sent them to the elders of Naboth's city. The letters commanded them to proclaim a fast and then accused Naboth of blaspheming both God and the king. It was a completely fabricated charge. Two scoundrels were hired to bear false witness, and based on their lies, poor Naboth was taken outside the city and stoned to death. With Naboth out of the way, Jezebel coolly told Ahab, "Go and take possession of the vineyard you wanted." Ahab did just that. But this act of greed and murder did not go unnoticed by God. He sent the prophet Elijah to confront Ahab right there in Naboth's vineyard. Elijah delivered a chilling prophecy. Just as dogs had licked up Naboth's blood, so too would dogs lick up Ahab's blood. And as for Jezebel, Elijah declared that dogs would devour her by the wall of Jezreel. Years passed. Ahab died in battle, and his son took the throne. But the prophecy against Jezebel's house was set in motion. God anointed a commander named Jehu to become the new king of Israel and to wipe out the entire lineage of Ahab and Jezebel. Jehu was a man of fierce and immediate action. He rode his chariot furiously to the city of Jezreel, where Jezebel was living. When Jezebel heard that Jehu was coming, she didn't try to run or hide. In a final act of defiance and royal pride, she put on makeup, arranged her hair, and looked down from a window as Jehu entered the city gate. She taunted him, calling him a murderer. Jehu looked up and shouted, "Who is on my side?" "Who?" 2 or 3 eunuchs, her own attendants, looked out. Jehu commanded them, "Throw her down," and they did. They threw her from the window. Her body was trampled by the horses and chariots. A little while later, Jehu, perhaps feeling a small pang of respect for her royal status, sighed, "Go and bury that cursed woman, for she was a king's daughter." But when his men went to find her, all that was left were her skull, her feet, and the palms of her hands. The dogs had eaten the rest, just as the prophet Elijah had foretold. Jezebel's story is a powerful and dark tale of idolatry, corruption, and ultimate divine judgment. It serves as a stark warning about the consequences of turning away from God and leading others astray. What do you find most fascinating or chilling about her story? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into biblical history. See you next time.